What's up, y'all? This is your girl Megan. Welcome back to my channel. If you're already a subscriber and if this is your first time joining us, go ahead and mash that subscribe button because you know you want to. So I want to go ahead and finish my Rising series slash planets in the first house. I uploaded the first half a few days ago, so I want to go ahead and knock out these last few planets. By the way, I do want to note that today I am honing in and channeling the energies of both my favorite crystals, amethyst and rose quartz, pink rose quartz. It's a little dirty because I got makeup on it, but it does the trick. So, you guys can get crystals anywhere. I like to purchase mine off of Etsy.com. This isn't a sponsored video. Oh, well, of course not. I have like 3 followers, but that will change with time, my friends. It'll change with time. Okay, so Neptune in the first house / Pisces rising people. So this creates people, I call you guys pretty much like the garbage disposal of the zodiac. So when you think of a garbage disposal, like in your sink, what does it do? It catches all of the debris, the trash, the food, the gunk, the shit that, kind of just falls from the dishes and everything else. And with this psychic, intuitive nature that I find a lot of Neptune first house people have, it works in the same way. You guys are very abreast to a lot of what I like to call it psychic undertones that go on in the universe and just around us in general, and it makes you very sensitive. These are very sensitive people. My rising sign is actually squared to Neptune, so I get it. I kind of get where y'all coming from in that sense. Very psychic to the point where if you're not careful, you're prone to allowing other people to dictate how you feel about yourself, or you look to other people to mirror your feelings about yourself. That's that very mutable energy that Pisces is working with. Neptune first house people, for this same reason, are also very caring, very great nurturers, very sensitive, very in tune with the needs of others, and therefore they're able to just like selflessly give themselves to others. It's a great thing. But on the flip side, you guys could be victims. I kind of talked about this in my love-hate relationship with Pisces. So basically all that, go watch the video. It's kind of applicable to Neptune in the first house here. It also makes for somebody who should definitely stay away from alcohol, substances, or just be very mindful of these things, because Neptune is the planet of like addictions. It's a very misty, cloudy planet, right? So there's you're already prone to delusions and things of that nature. So when you add any type of mind altering substances into the mix, it can go left real quick. So like, take care of yourselves in that respect. Neptune first house can also create somebody who is rather lazy, who spends a lot of their time just preoccupied with their dream world and not enough time in this 3D reality as we now know it. So be mindful of that. And you guys are also prone to overindulgence, which ties back into my point about just being mindful of substances and things of that nature, because you guys are just naturally set up for that addiction life, and we don't need that. We don't want that. Uranus in the first house makes for a badass motherfucker, okay? These are people who are more often than not non-conformist, and it manifests outwardly in their appearance. So these are people who can be very quirky in the way that they dress, very quirky in their views, their thoughts, ideas. Uranus is the planet of individuality, rebellion, very sudden changes. So these people embody that same type of energy. They love to deviate from the status quo. They love to stick their middle fingers up to anybody who tries to put them in a box, who tries to, pressure them to conform to societal standards. What are those? What are those? I would happen to know this because my ascendant is also squared to Uranus as well. And depending on certain aspects Uranus is making to other planets, this sense of individuality could or could not become a problem in your relationships with other people. For instance, if you have a square aspect to your Uranus in the first house, or maybe an Aquarius rising, this could create somebody who has just such a strong sense of individuality that you might put other people off with your ideas. You might put other people off with your ways of thinking, or this could manifest as somebody who just likes to buck the system just to do it, who can seem very, what's the word? I don't know the right word, but basically people who just like to oppose shit just for the sake of it. You know what I'm saying? And I find myself doing that at times too, but whatever. I always say, if there's too many people agreeing on one thing, okay, you can count on me to be like, devil's advocate. That don't sound right. Cause I get real uncomfortable when too many niggas is agreeing on one thing. Somebody gotta shake shit up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Also, if negatively aspected by malefic planets, this could indicate accidents. You know what I'm saying? Like, Uranus square Pluto or some shit, square Mars. Very sudden, violent accidents or volatile conflicts, or, just unwanted sudden shit that can just pop off. Because, like I said, Uranus is that sudden change, sudden transformation. In some cases, depending on like what's going on, it could actually indicate like death causing events. So don't freak out. It's a lot of the things to consider in the chart, but it's worth noting. And finally, Pluto in the first house / Scorpio ascendants. My daughter has this placement. And here's my thing with this, okay? I know standardly, like the standard interpretation of Pluto in the first house is like people who have fucked up lives and who get raped and shit. And I'm not saying that's not true, because they say the signs or the stars impel and they don't compel. So there's a lot of other things to take into consideration in somebody's chart. But for me, I feel like people with Pluto in the first house, first of all, they're here for transformation, because you got to think about your first house sets the tone like for your entire natal chart, your entire life story. Basically, it's like the theme of your life. So I do agree that Pluto in the first house, Scorpio rising people are naturally drawn to conflict in a similar way that Aries / Mars in the first house people are drawn to conflict. And it's funny because they're ruled by the same signs. It's just that Mars is the higher octave and the more aggressive and active in your face version of that Mars Pluto energy. So with that being said, Scorpio people they have like this subconscious program for drama, this subconscious program for death and rebirth. And so this could cause people to basically self-sabotage, because you're addicted to transforming situations, right? You're addicted to dying and coming back. And it doesn't have to literally be like death as we know it in this lifetime, but just the death of a situation, the death of a relationship. These people are very very power driven also, right? So they spend a lot of time trying to balance out imposing their will on other people and then other people imposing their will on them. And because this is an underside of Mars, these people could attract a lot of vampires, a lot of psychic vampires. They tend to attract a lot of dark experiences, or serve as a healer for other people going through dark experiences, you know, in life. So, and that makes them very, 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 very wide. Physically, Pluto people / Scorpio rising people are known for their eyes. Like, if you guys see my daughter, like in the last video we did, she has these big, like, piercing magnetic eyes that, like, could stare right through you. Like, she came out fresh out of the birth canal like that, like, looking, just staring like that. Scorpios are very big on getting to the depth of things, right? Because you got to think about it. It's an underground type of energy. So they love investigating. Pluto first house people often, like, outwardly to other people, come off as very mysterious, you know, very secretive, very reserved. They're the type of people who have mastered the art of getting you to talk about yourself but revealing nothing about themselves. Like, you can see their brains just churning, you know what I'm saying? They like to fill out the situation, kind of get a good understanding of who they're around. And depending on how evolved this Pluto first house / Scorpio rising person is, you know what I'm saying, they may or may not take advantage of that, or look for an opportunity to once again insert their will on others, or do power plays, or you know, if they're more evolved Scorpio rising, they just like to know, you know what I'm saying? But if you want some smoke down the line later on, you know what I'm saying, they done already pinpointed your weaknesses, they done read the scene, scoped the scene, they know what everybody is about, and they keep that in mind moving forward. Very analytical minds, but in a more, like, intuitive kind of way. So yeah, that pretty much concludes all of the signs in the first house. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, drop down in the comment section below and let me know what's good. So remember, as always, practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until next time.